Hey you guys! Second to last day of the one and only Ivan. I was talking to some of you guys on Google Meet today about it. Some of us are on different days, but if you have got into this video, this is our second to last day of the one and only Ivan. I'm excited. Yesterday was kind of like, we were excited to read and then it felt like a bummer almost because you just didn't, like Ivan just didn't really seem happy. We know that he's in a cage. He's not at this happy place that he thought he was gonna be. He's worried about Ruby. So I'm very interested to see what ends up happening. Our friend Aria bought the book herself and she just finished reading today. And so I told her, don't tell me. 2 more days. So we're on page 269 if you're following along in the book, and we're gonna read through page 283. And then, like I said, we'll finish tomorrow. So today we're picking up on this section that's called Excited. This morning, for some reason, there is no gorilla show on TV. Maya and the other humans are excited. They chirp like birds at dawn. Today's the day, they say. I've watched many humans watch me, but never have they looked so happy. Maya goes to the wall of wooden slats. She grins goofily, and she pulls a string. Gorillas. 3 females and a juvenile male. It's the family I've been watching, but they're not on a TV screen. They're on the other side of the glass watching me, watching them. I see me, lots of me. I cover my eyes. I look again. They're still there. Here's all of these gorillas. So picture this, okay? Close your eyes if you need to. He's in his cage that he explained to us yesterday, right? And he talks about how there's glass walls all around it, and then the one side is like wooden slat. So it's like a wall that has like wood on it, okay? And he's been watching this TV show of these gorillas, and his keeper seems really excited today. And she pulls a string and the slats go away, and all of a sudden what he's been watching on TV is right in front of him, all of these gorillas. So what happened was he was in his cage and he was watching these gorillas that were really just on the other side, and he just didn't know. And now he gets to meet them. But you could tell he's so surprised, he doesn't even really believe it yet, right? He covers his eyes and opens them and it's still there. He almost like thinks he's dreaming or something. Every day I watch them through my window, the way my visitors used to watch me. See how they chase, groom, see how they play, sleep, see how they live. They're graceful the way Stella was, moving just enough, only as much as they need. They stare at me, heads tilted, pointing and hooting, and I wonder, are they as fascinated by me as I am by them? Her hoots make my ears hurt. I admire her intact canines from afar. Her name is Kenyani. She is faster than I am, spiry, probably smarter, although I am twice her size, and that too is important. She is terrifying and beautiful, like a painting that moves. Today the humans lead me to a door. On the other side, Kenyani and the others wait for me. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to be a silverback. I'm Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. I decide it's not a good day to socialize. I'll try again tomorrow. All night I lie awake wondering about Ruby. Has she already walked through a door like the one I'm facing? Was she as scared as I am? Scared the way she must have been that day that she fell in the hole? I think of Ruby's endless curiosity and of the questions she loved to ask. Have you ever danced with a tiger, Ivan? Will your fur turn blue? Why doesn't that little boy have a tail? If Ruby were here with me, she'd be asking, what's on the other side of the door, Ivan? Ruby would want to know, and she would have been through that door by now. Want to try again, Ivan? Maya asks. I think of Ruby and tell myself time. The door opens. So these wooden slats were covering this glass, right? And when they lifted the slats, there was still glass in between Ivan and all these other gorillas, but he was getting to watch them, okay? They're trying to get him used to these other gorillas, right? How many of you have a dog at home? especially if you have more than one dog, or if you've ever taken your dog to a dog park or to meet another dog. You don't usually just let them like, go. Sometimes dogs don't get along, and we have to make sure that they meet and that they get along, and we kind of warm them up to the idea of another dog around. And so this is kind of the same idea. They don't want to just take this huge gorilla that has never been around all these other gorillas and throw him in with them, right? That could be really bad. So they've been easing him into it. They had him watch TV, which was really just a video camera of these other gorillas. And then they had him watch through the glass. And then now they want him to go and try and be with the other gorillas. The door opens. Sky, grass, tree, ant, stick, bird, dirt, cloud, wind, flower, rock, rain. Mine, mine, mine. So he went outside, right? And he's never really been outside, not since he got taken from the jungle. When he was with Mac, he was always locked inside. And so they just let him out into the open in a container, obviously. Not a container, like a cage or his domain, but it's outside. And so he is getting all this fresh air. You guys know what it's like. We're in quarantine right now, right? We don't get to go outside as often as we normally do. And so when we get to go on a walk, or you get to go play in your backyard, or you go to another neighborhood and just walk the streets, whatever you're doing, it's nice to get that fresh air, isn't it? I just love even opening my windows in the mornings and getting fresh air, because I love being outside, and I'm not outside nearly as much as I am when we're not in quarantine. I sniff, approach, strut a bit, but the others don't welcome me. They have sharp teeth and loud voices. Did I do something wrong? Kenyani chases me. She throws a stick at me. She corners me. I know that she's testing me to see if I'm a true silverback, one who can protect her family. I cower and hide my eyes. Maya lets me back into my cage. I lie awake and try to remember what it was like being a gorilla. How did we move? How did we touch? How did we know who was boss? I tried to think past the babies and the motorbikes and the popcorn and the short pants. I tried to imagine Ivan as he might have been. So that section is really important, because he was in captivity for so long that he doesn't know how to be a gorilla in the wild. And even though there's obviously humans and they have these gorillas, right? We're thinking this is probably a zoo now. He still needs to act like a wild gorilla, because even though they're contained, they're in some sort of cage, he's still interacting with other gorillas. He's outside now. He's not just one little pet, right? He's got to be kind of more like a wild gorilla again. And remember, silverbacks are the ones who are supposed to be in charge, and that's what Ivan is. So he's going from being this only gorilla, locked inside for almost his whole life, to trying to be the leader and be in charge. And that's scary for him. And all these other gorillas, they're kind of testing him, right? He says this female gorilla throws a stick at him and she corners him. They're trying to see if he is going to be that mighty silverback. The juvenile male approaches. He's eyeing my food hungrily. I imagine a different Ivan, my father's son. I grumble and swat and swagger. I beat my chest till the whole world hears. Kenyani watches, and so do the others. I move toward the upstart and he retreats, almost as if he believes I'm the silverback I'm pretending to be. I'm making a nest on the ground. It isn't a true jungle nest. The leaves are inferior and the sticks are brittle. They snap when I weave them into place. The others watch, grunting their disapproval. Too small, too flimsy, an ugly thing to see. But when I climb into that leafy cradle, it's like floating on treetop mist. He never got that inside. Maya wants me to go back to my glass cage. I can tell because she is tempting me towards the door with a trail of tiny marshmallows. I try to ignore her. I don't want to leave the outside. It's a cloudless day and I've just found the right spot for a nap. But I relent when she adds yogurt raisins to the trail. She knows my weaknesses all too well. In the glass cage, the TV is on. It's another nature show, jerky and unfocused. I expect to see gorillas, but none appear. I hear a shrill sound like a toy trumpet. My heart quickens. I rush close to the screen. And there she is. Ruby. She is rolling in a lovely pool of mud with 2 other young elephants. Another elephant approaches. She towers over Ruby. She strokes Ruby, nudges her. She makes soft noises. They stand side by side just the way Stella and Ruby used to do. Their trunks entwine like they wrap up. I see something new in Ruby's eyes, and I know what it is. It's joy. I watch the whole thing, and then Maya plays it again for me, and again. At last, she turns off the TV and carries it out of the cage. I put my hand to the glass. Maya looks over. Thank you, I try to say with my eyes. Thank you. Oh, Miss Jenkins gonna cry. So Ivan's been so worried about what's going on, where he ended up, and he finds these other gorillas, and he kind of starts to show them that he'll be in charge, and he gets to make a bed of leaves and twigs and stuff that he never got to do with Mac, and he misses it from the jungle, right? He said it's not the same as the jungle, but it's basically heaven to him because he's been just in this cage from Mac that was not that great. And he's still worried about Ruby, right? And he's hoping that she ended up somewhere good. And then he finally goes back into his cage. Maya, his keeper, is trying to get him to go back in there, and he was like, yeah, right. Right? He just went outside for the first time. Like, why would he want to go back inside? But he does it because she bribes him with yogurt raisins, right? And he gets to see Ruby on TV. And she's in another domain. And she's rolling in mud. And she's got other elephants. And she's got one that seems kind of like a mom or an auntie to her again, just like Stella was. And they're kind of nestled up, loving on each other a little bit. And Ivan, he tries to say thank you, right? He can't say thank you to his zookeeper, but he is just very happy that Ruby ended up where she was supposed to. And he says that he could just see the joy, right? He knows what that is on her face, and it's joy. So we'll finish the book tomorrow. We'll see how it ends. For being kind of bummed out yesterday, I feel like today was a good day. We're happy, right? Ruby's where she's supposed to be. And yeah, anyways, I found this TV show, and I'm gonna put the link on the Google Classroom and in Class Dojo. It's a show called The Zoo, and I guess it came out in 2017, so you guys may have all watched it by now. But I just watched the first episode of it this morning. I just put it on while I was doing some stuff, and it was about a zoo, obviously. And this first episode had a gorilla in it, and they're taking care of this gorilla, and he's a silverback gorilla. And so I'll put the link. You can watch it online because it's an Animal Planet show. So if you haven't seen it, or you want to just watch an episode of it, then you can. I think there's like 4 seasons now. So that was just the very first episode. But I just thought, how cool was it that I ended up putting that on, and it ended up being a silverback gorilla that they're taking care of. So if you guys need something fun to do, watch that, and I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're watching this the day that I posted this video, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, everyone can get on Google Meet on Fridays. We're gonna do a hangout, see your friends, just chat about what your plans might be this weekend and whatnot. So I hope to see all of your smiling faces. I miss you, and have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.